All right, questions for Trevor. We'll start on the right side with Ben.
You know, Trevor, when you transferred from Oklahoma to A&M, I mean, how much did you want to prove that you were able to be a starting quarterback at a big-time program?
I didn't ever want to prove that. I knew that. That's the reason I left in the first place. I'd played a bunch of football before, and so I knew I was capable of playing and playing at a high level. And so when I got here, my mindset was never prove anybody wrong. It was, let's get this team ready to play the 2016 season.
Go on the left side middle, Christy.
Trevor, can you take us through your touchdown, kind of what you saw there and that extra effort of getting in?
Yeah, that was a really bad read, and just made a play on it. Honestly, we were running the zone read, and the end stayed flat-footed. I should have handed that ball off, and he probably would have walked into the end zone, but I pulled it, and then, once that happens, you make a decision. You just got to be an athlete, and luckily I was able to get in, and we had great blocking out there on the edge with Tanner Shorp and Calvin Klein, and so they did a heck of a job getting a push.
Right side up front, Olin.
Right here,
Trevor.
Trevor, I got to know what was might have flashed through your mind when you saw, first of all, Travion looked like he's got a long touchdown run to end it, and then, all of a sudden they have the football.
Yeah, I honestly didn't see it happen, and so I was a little confused at what they were trying to say, and that's just a football play, man. You think you're breaking one there for a touchdown, and adversity hits, and so you got to stay calm, cool, and collected, and we did that. I mean, to go into 2 overtimes and drove the ball down the field, had a chance to win, didn't do that. Had a 3rd and 1 that we didn't convert in the first overtime and got a field goal to tie it up, and then go to another overtime and continue to just press on, believe in what we're doing, believe in the guy next to us. That takes a lot of emotional energy. That takes a lot of belief in the guy next to you. And, man, I couldn't be more proud of the way our guys just continue to stay even keel through that adversity.
We're on the left side, Al.
Trevor, when you look at this and the way things went, and you guys just couldn't put them away, they kept coming back, how much confidence does a win like this give this football team?
Well, first I just have to say hats off to Tennessee. I mean, the way that they've played this year when their backs are against the wall is incredible. And we knew that coming into this game that, if we jumped out on them, they had, the ability to come back in the ballgame, and they did that once again. And so you got to first give credit to them for making it a ball game. But again, I believe in this team. I believe in our guys, and I know that internally we believe in each other. And so when our backs are against the wall and we're forced to make plays, we believe in the guy next to us, and it just happens.
We'll go standing on the far right in the back.
Like you said, you've played a lot of college football. When you look back at the end, I mean, when 10 years from now, you remember this game, what do you think is going to stick out in your mind about this win?
Oh, it's a big-time game, You remember the big ones, and you remember the plays, and you remember the specific plays, and you remember the little things, celebrating with guys on the sideline, and the look on somebody's face when you're running on the field after the game. Those are the things that I enjoy. Those are the things that are really priceless. And so, yeah, I'll look back on this one for sure 10 years down the road, and we'll meet up with all these guys and laugh about it and tell these stories, and it's a special night.
We'll go to Christy in the middle, and then we'll go up front.
Knowing what Tennessee had done again and again this year, what was your message to your team, like before overtime, before double overtime, just to make sure they were on the right page?
Yeah, we were up 3 touchdowns, and we continued to say on the sideline, hey, they're capable, we can't let up. And again, they battled back and did a really good job of that. But then once, we missed the field goal, and so we were going into overtime, and our message was just, we got to turn the momentum in our favor again. They kind of had the momentum shifted on their side, making a few plays down the stretch, and we had to shift that momentum back, and we did a really good job of that.
Left side, front row, and then we'll go to the back, and then Olin will wrap us up.
Trevor, what is it about this team that you guys back against the wall? You hear that a lot, but I mean, this game you guys could have been deflated going into that overtime, but both sides of the ball stepped up.
Well, I feel like I'm a broken record, but before the season even started, like back at media day, we talked about the culture of a team, and everybody's got great players, everybody's talented, but when the game's on the line, it's about the brotherhood, it's about the culture, and that's what we've started to establish, and we're starting to create that identity, and we want to continue to create that. But true belief in the guy next to us, a true love for the guy next to us, that we don't want to let him down. And when it's a fine line between winning and losing, and what gets you on the right side of that fine line, I truly believe is that culture and brotherhood.
We'll go to the back, Daryl.
Trevor, can you talk about the fact that you guys came into saying some players pretty beat up? You pick up the win, and you pick up the win before the off week, so you don't have to dwell on a loss for 2 weeks before you get ready for your Alabama?
Yeah, that's big for us. Our bye week was positioned pretty perfectly this year, right down the middle, and we knew that coming into this game. If we left it all out on the field, we had 2 weeks to rest, and we had some guys that played hurt tonight, and they played really well, and we had some guys that couldn't play tonight that are going to be back for us. But everybody's battling that this time of year. Tennessee they didn't have their starting running back, they didn't have one of their best defensive players, and so everybody battles those injuries. It's, again, how are you going to find a way to win with the next guy stepping up? We talk around here about having a standard, and regardless who's on the field, we're going to meet that standard. And some guys, off the top of my head, Alex Caesar stepped in tonight and played really well on the defensive side of the ball. And so guys just stepped up when they needed to.
Right up front.
Trevor,
Olin,
could
right
you
up
share
front.
with us what might have been your thoughts or whatever, and then was it as much relief as euphoria when you see Armani Watts make that final interception?
Yeah, it's big time. Those guys, I don't even know what the number is. I lost count of the turnovers that they had today, but they forced a lot of turnovers. And when you win the turnover battle, there's always a pretty high chance you're going to win the football game. And those guys have continued to do that. Those safeties have been all over the field, making plays in the run game, making big plays like that. And that's an incredible moment, one that you'll never forget.